Here's who's getting Social Security and disability payments this coming week on November the 19th. The second wave of Social Security payments for November is set to be distributed in a few days. Remember, the $56 increase that you got as part of the cost of living adjustment is not going to be part of this payment. That is going to come on January the 1st. But on November the 19th, I have a list of those who are going to get their Social Security and disability payments. Plus, President Trump has been saying that he wants to send a $2,000 stimulus check to Americans, including seniors, on Social Security and disability benefits. And this has dominated the news for a while now. There are many news organizations that are reporting this as something that is going to happen. The question is, when is this going to happen and who is eligible? And most importantly, the president said he wants to get the stimulus check to Americans' hands before the end of the year. What are the chances that you are going to see this stimulus check that the president promised before the end of 2025? I am going to explain all of this in detail so that you can understand what is happening with this exciting news that a lot of seniors has been expecting, and when you can expect that money if it's going to happen in 2025. My name is Kwame Kwade. I am a government benefits expert. For 15 years, I've been helping seniors get the retirement benefits they deserve. I create content on Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps, and other personal finance topics that affect seniors and their retirement, their benefits, and finances. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I am glad you're here. Do me a quick favor, go into the comment section and let me know your city and your state, because I like to know where you guys are watching my channel from. And if you've been watching this YouTube channel for a while, welcome back. I am glad you're here. Thank you for your continued support. Now, we have a lot to cover, and I'm going to start with the Social Security payment schedule that is coming for those who are going to be getting money on November the 19th. And then stay with me till the end of this video, because I'm going to talk about this $2,000 stimulus that is dominating the news. I want to bring you the truth. Is this realistic that is going to happen before the end of the year? I'm going to tell you what I think, plus what information I'm getting about how this is going to unfold and the realistic chance of this happening, because that's what the president wants. So let's talk about Social Security payment schedule. So the next wave of Social Security payments up to $5,108, it's about to hit bank accounts. The question is, who is going to get this benefit? Well, the $5,108 goes to those who are retiring at their full retirement at their full retirement age at age 70 and have paid the maximum amount into Social Security. So I want to be clear on that. And then there are other levels of maximum benefits that you need to be aware of. So if you're retiring at your full retirement age in 2025, your maximum benefit is $4,018. If you are retiring at age 62, then your maximum benefit is $2,710. Now, the average of all Social Security benefits for 2025 so far is $1,925. Now, one news I want to let you know is that the full retirement age for Social Security is now permanently set at age 67, starting in January 1st, 2025. That is a permanent change. So if you're born in 1960 or later, you are going to be at a full retirement age of age 67. Excuse me. So who is getting paid on the 19th? Well, if your birthday is between the 1st and the 10th of November or of the month, you should have received your Social Security payments or disability payment already on November the 12th. If your birthday is between the 11th and the 20th, your payment is coming on the 19th. So if you were born between the 11th of the month and the 20th, your Social Security benefit is coming on November the 19th in a few days. And then the last batch of Social Security payments are going to hit on the 26th if you are born between the 21st of the month and the end of the month. So here's what the schedule looks like. November the 12th already is for those born between the 1st and the 10th, November the 19th for those born between the 11th and the 20th, and November the 28th, 26th, for those born between the 21st and 31st. Now, this is for Social Security retirement and SSDI. If you're on SSI benefits, you should have gotten your check on October the 31st, because November the 1st is a weekend and the Social Security Administration doesn't pay on weekends or holidays. Plus, if you are one of these 4 categories of Social Security recipients, you live outside the United States, you receive both SSI and Social Security benefits, your state pays for your Medicare premiums, and you file for Social Security before 1997, you would have received your payment on November the 3rd. So here's the deal. If you're on Social Security's SSI, you're not going to get any money in November because your money was paid to you on Friday, October the 31st. And so you are not going to get double. You already received your money. I wanted to make sure that I clarify that. Now, if you don't get your Social Security check, then here is the protocol. According to the Social Security Administration, you should wait 3 business days. And if the money does not come in, then there's a real problem. It means that you may be in an overpayment situation with the Social Security Administration where you owe them money and they are taking your benefits and using it to pay what you owe, at least some of it. Or your benefits have been canceled, which is a much, much bigger problem. But in any case, call the Social Security Administration at 1-800-772-1213 or go online and schedule an appointment with your local Social Security office and do an in-person visit to find out why your Social Security benefits was not paid to you this month. Now, before I go any further and talk about stimulus, if you want to stay on top of news and updates, anything happening in and out of Congress that could affect your retirement, your benefits, your finances, then text the word insider to 443-293-0080. You'll be added to thousands of seniors that are getting 1 or 2 text messages from me each week, alerting you to critical information that you have to be aware of that may impact your benefits, your finances, and your retirement. So text the word insider to the number you see on your screen. The service is free of charge, and you get updated on critical information that can impact your benefits. So let's move on to stimulus. So let's move to stimulus. Now, as I mentioned, President Trump wants to send Americans a stimulus check, including seniors on Social Security and disability benefits. This has dominated the news, and I think there are some false expectations out there that I want to clarify. So here is one such news. It says, oh, let me make sure you can see it. Here, hold on a second. Okay. It says stimulus check 2025. Who would qualify for Trump's $2,000 tariff payment? So President Trump has said he wants to send stimulus check. This is not the first time the president has said he wants to do this. I'm going to give you a little bit of background, and then I'm going to tell you when and how this is going to play out. The first thing I want you to know is that this started as a $600 payment. Back in July of this year, the president went on TV and said that he wants to send a $600 stimulus check. So a senator in Congress, Senator Josh Hawley, drafted a bill that is going to do exactly that. He was going to pay $600 to Americans, and he actually submitted a bill in the Senate that was going to do that. Basically pay Americans, including seniors on Social Security and disability, $600 from the stimulus, from the tariff revenue that the president was getting. So this is the bill that Senator Hawley submitted in the Senate. A few months later, that didn't go anywhere. A few months later, the president came back in October and said now he's increasing the amount from $600 to $1,000. So now, not only is the president saying that he wants to pay stimulus, but now he wants to increase the amount. So here is that particular one. Let me find it and share it with you for a second. Hold on a second. I'll look for that and share it with you. So back in October, The president came back and said he wanted to send an even bigger check, and he said he wanted to send $1,000 or $2,000 check. October the 7th, it says President Trump. This is Fox News. President Trump said he's looking at sending stimulus check worth 1,000 to 2,000. Stimulus check will be a dividend to the people of America, and stimulus will be funded from the revenue generated from tariffs. So now we go from 600 to 1,000 or 2,000. And then now, a few days ago, the president is back in the news, now sticking with the higher number and saying that he wants to send a stimulus check of $2,000 in 2025. And that is the biggest change right now, is that he wants to do this in 2025. And I want to share with you a news headline that is talking exactly about that. So here it is, another Fox article. It says tariff dividend. I want to make sure that you can see this. Tariff dividend. If you're hearing some sound, it is the local alarm system that is being tested all morning as I'm recording this. So just ignore it. I have tried several times to stop and start the video, but every time I stop and start, they will do it again. So I don't know when it's going to end. So if you hear some background noise, it is the local city. They are testing the emergency alarm system. So ignore it. So anyway, so the president came back and said, he wants to do tariff in 2025. So here's the article, what Trump is again saying about possible 2025 stimulus check. And so the president went on TV and said, hey, I want to send the stimulus and I want to do it this year. President Trump said on social media Sunday that he's looking at sending a tariff dividend check of $2,000 to some Americans. Trump has floated several times this year the idea of a stimulus check. The administration says it collected billions of dollars of tariff revenue. So that's what the president is saying. But what are the realistic chances that this are going to happen? Or what is the form is going to take for this to happen? That's what I want to talk to you about. And with that, I'm going to go to a specific article that is going to, fact check this and give us some perspective. So it says, fact checking Trump's promise to give Americans $2,000 payment from tariff dividends. So here is what I think. So it says over the weekend, President Trump promised $2,000 each from the trillions of dollars in tariff revenue he said his administration has collected. During his second term, Trump has imposed tariffs broadly on countries and on specific goods such as drugs, steel, and cars. And he went on to talk about what he wants to do and why he wants to give the stimulus money. And then the question is, how seriously should you take his pledge? Now, let's listen to the experts expand on this. Tariffs are projected to generate well below trillions a year, making it harder to pay each person $2,000. And the administration already said it will use the tariff to pay either for existing tax cuts or reduce the federal debt. So, look, the president is saying he wants to do tariffs. He wants to use the tariff money to pay stimulus. He's saying that they're going to get trillions of dollars. Experts are saying it's not even going to be $1 trillion. That's neither here or there. But the central thing you have to think about is the president is promising to use this money for a lot of things. He wants to use it to pay down the debt. He wants to use it to fund the tax cuts that were passed as part of the big, beautiful bill. And now he wants to use it to send a dividend check. So there's a lot of competing things that the president wants to do with this money, regardless of how much he's going to get. So now the question is, what is his main priority? Which one of these things that the president really wants to do? Trump's post came days after the Supreme Court heard arguments about the legality of his tariff policy. The justices are weighing whether Trump has the power to unilaterally impose tariffs under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. If the justices rule against Trump, much of the expected tariff revenue would not materialize. So that is another wrinkle. Not only has the president promised the money to a lot of people, to a lot of things, there's also the Supreme Court case where the Supreme Court is even evaluating whether the president has the authority to even impose these unilateral tariffs on countries under the particular law that he's using. So if you heard the reporting around that Supreme Court argument, you probably know that it didn't look good. That's just a reporting. You can Google it. The recent Supreme Court case that the administration was arguing that the president has authority to impose these tariffs, the Supreme Court wasn't convinced. Even the most conservative justices were not convinced. And so that whole thing hangs in the balance. If the Supreme Court rules against the president, number one, he will have to return all that money. And number two, there will be no future money coming in. And so then that brings to the question, what are the chances that this tariff will happen or this stimulus will happen? Here's what I'm going to tell you. When it comes to President Trump, if he wants something out of Congress, he's going to get it. So if he wants to send a $2,000 stimulus to the American people, if that is his top priority, I want to emphasize that. If that is his top priority, then he's going to get it, just like he got the big, beautiful bill. But if it's not his top priority and there are competing things that he is promising to use this money for, then that becomes the problem. And so, on one hand, we don't even know if this whole tariff thing is legal. The Supreme Court is going to decide that. If the Supreme Court decides that it's legal, that's good news. Then the next question is, what is the president's priority? The money is not enough to do all the things that he wants to do. So if the getting the money back to the American people, which I think will be the logical thing to do because the tariffs have had an impact on inflation. Every expert with their salt knows that the tariff has contributed to price increases in a lot of areas because businesses have just passed on the tariff to consumers. And so it's also helped to push prices of goods and services up. And so returning the money to the American people will probably be a fair thing to do because seniors especially have bore a lot of the brunt of the tariffs. And so I think that when it comes to priorities, that should probably be the number one priority. But I don't know if that's the number one priority from the president. And so we have to watch a three-step process. Number one, the legality of the tariffs. Number two, if they are legal, then what is the president's priority? And if the tariffs for stimulus is his priority, that he wants to really give stimulus check to bring relief to the American people, then now it has to go to Congress for both houses to pass it for the president to get it done. And what are the chances that it can be done before the end of the year? I don't know. It comes back to the first question. Is it legal? And if let's say the president wants to ignore and it's not going to wait for the Supreme Court to make a decision and he wants to do it anyway and send the stimulus out, then it's possible that it can be done before the end of the year. Remember, we're in mid-November. Today's November the 13th. We may not be able to, Congress probably will take a break at some point. So we probably have maybe like 15 working days for them to realistically get this done, before the Congress shuts down for the holidays. So I'll keep an eye on it and let you know. But my indication of whether this will happen or not is how serious the president is in terms of prioritizing the stimulus. All right. So next, I want to talk about Medicare. If you've been watching my channel, you know that during this open enrollment, I am on a mission. Before I do that, if you want to continue to get important news update from me, 1 or 2 text messages a week, text the word insider to 443-293-0080. It is free of charge. It doesn't cost you anything on my end, and you will be updated on things you need to know about timely and join thousands of seniors and others that are getting these updates from me. So I am on a mission to help 100,000 seniors during this open enrollment season. Why am I doing that? Because I feel like Medicare is very confusing to a lot of seniors, and 90% of seniors are in the wrong Medicare plan as a result. So I'm here to educate you, provide you great guides, and share with you to help you understand Medicare better, and then connect you with the best resources to help you even get more out of Medicare. And so you've earned it. You work 35, 40, 50 years. You earned your Medicare. You might as well get the best out of it. And that's my mission. But there is a lot happening in the news that is really causing a lot of senior stress about Medicare. Even if you're on original Medicare, there are changes happening with Medigap plans if you're on original Medicare and you live in 6 states, next year, starting January 1st, you're going to need pre-authorization to get certain services, devices, and procedures. And then there's all changes that are happening with Advantage plans being dropped in certain states. So the mistake that you would make is to just automatically renew your Medicare plan right now, trusting that the plan that you have is going to be the same plan that you're going to get next year. That is not the way to go because of all these changes that I'm seeing that I'm sharing with you. So here's the deal. I want to connect you to a trusted partner, Chapter Medicare, that can help you. Join over 3,500 of our viewers that have already called Chapter to get that peace of mind that I'm talking about. And when I mean peace of mind about Medicare, it means that you did not just blindly renew your benefit trusting that it is going to do what it did this year. That you recognize that a lot of changes are happening and that you owe it to yourself to compare your plan with all available plans that you are eligible for before you make a decision. And that is where a lot of seniors struggle. And Chapter has access to all 24,000 plans. They can tell you what is available to you in your area and help you pick a plan that fits your budget, fits the coverage that you need, the provider network that you should be in, hospitals, doctors, etc. And most importantly, prescription drug coverage that you absolutely need covered, that it is making sure that your plan includes all of that. So give Chapter a call today, 539-205-2147. They're going to give you unbiased free opinion to help you make the right choice. And if you want them to call you, then go to axchapter.org/insider. I'll put the information in the comments and in the description to this video. Guys, I know I say this all the time, and I've been sharing feedback that I'm getting from people who have called Chapter and gotten that peace of mind. Here's two of them that they just got posted in my comments. It says here somebody, I am listening to your channel from Stockton, California. I want to thank you for recommending that we call Chapter during this open enrollment. I called them and they have helped me choose a better plan. So I am now set for the new year. Thanks again. That is what I mean by peace of mind about Medicare. That you know that you're set, that you're taken care of. And you can see that I like the comment because that's what I want. I'm trying to help 100,000 seniors get this peace of mind. Here's another comment. It says, thank you very much for sharing the Chapter information. I called over the weekend. Yes, they are open during the weekend, and you're probably easier to get through during the weekend. And I was able to register for a different Medicare Advantage plan that had all of my doctors and covered my medication. I mean, I give a love to that also. So, guys, here's the deal. Call Chapter. Yeah, you can see that I give it a love because that's what I want to. That's what I want to do. I want to help you achieve that peace of mind about Medicare. So give them a call today. Here is the number 539-205-2147 and get that peace of mind about Medicare that I've been talking about because you owe it to yourself. Because here's the deal. The government is not going to put you in a better Medicare plan out of the goodness of their heart. They want you to work for it. And I'm here to help you to get into the right plan so that you are assured that there are no surprises coming your way starting next year. And then lastly, guys, if you've been watching my channel, you know that I started a membership community for seniors. And here is the thing. I want to share this with you because you know that YouTube, however, it's a great platform. And a lot of you came to know about my channel through YouTube, but there is more that, I want to provide you. And I have launched this school community in order to help seniors, get more out of retirement. And so what is this community about? Well, let me talk to you about it. So it is to help you minimize your stress during retirement and maximize your benefit by getting the help that you deserve. Why is that important? Well, this is an online community for seniors age 55 plus because a lot of you had asked me about it. And I had been saying that I haven't found a platform that is senior friendly where every senior can navigate easily without problems. And finally, I found the school platform. And so we launched about 2 months ago, and we already have about 250 seniors that have signed up on this monthly service, and are unlocking every dollar, every discount, every advantage from Social Security, Medicare, and personal finance. So this, I want to share with you what is happening with this group so that you can get an insight into why you should join. You are going to get weekly exclusive videos on maximizing your benefits, monthly money saving tips from me and my team, step-by-step resource guides. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Live Q&A session with experts, and a supportive, friendly community that is here to help you thrive. And I think it's the best work I have done in terms of helping seniors and putting seniors first. So I am creating video content that I'm just sharing in this community that is supposed to help you get the best out of your retirement. As you can see, you can ask me questions and I'll answer you directly, like this lady that did that. She asked me a question about work requirements. I did the research and I answered her directly. So, and then I'll give you breaking news as they happen. But one of the biggest benefits you get are these guides. I have created a lot of guides that I sell on my YouTube channel. If you go to the YouTube store at the top, you'll see it. And these are paid guides. You have to pay for it. But if you're part of this community, you get every guide that I create for free, including all the future guides that I'm going to be working on. So here's the deal. What kind of guides am I talking about? 10 proven ways seniors can get an extra $500 to $1,000 a month. Seniors want to earn extra income. Some don't know how to do that. I have created a whole guide to help you do that. And then there's more. Social Security changes for 2025 that you need to know about. And then AI. A lot of seniors want to understand AI, but I'm not sure where to start. I created a whole guide to help you navigate AI, to help you just improve your daily life. Secrets to boosting your Social Security benefits. Even if you're still getting Social Security right now, there are things you can do to increase your check. I have a whole guide in there for you that will teach you how to do that. And then there is senior banking resources. What are the best CD rates, free checking accounts in your state? The big beautiful bill, 1,000 pages or over, and there's a lot of consequences for seniors over the next 5 years that you need to be aware of. I have put all of this in a friendly guide, and so much more. Senior discounts. What are the best discounts of 2025, 2026 that seniors should take advantage of to boost your personal finances and save you money? It's all in this guide, and so forth and so on. And I have a lot of worksheet, how to pay off debt, how to maximize your spending, so much more in this guide. And here is what the community looks like. You can see there's 245 people that have joined, and it is very, very busy. We're talking, I am posting things, people are responding. It is the place to be. So if you want to be part of this community, go to www.school.com/benefits insider. I'm going to put that information in the comments and in the description. I think, as I said, it is the best thing I have created so far, an elevated experience to put seniors first, and give you access to me and my team, and be able to help you minimize your stress during this retirement season, and maximize your benefits, and give you the help and resources that you deserve to be able to make your retirement enjoyable and stay on top of news and information that can affect your benefits, your retirement, and your finances. So check it out. I think you will like it. And in terms of activity, there's so much going on in the channel that you don't want to miss out on this. You want to be a part of this community. So check it out. School.com, SKOOL.com/benefits insider. And if you like what you heard, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on another video tomorrow.